Gennady Golovkin defeats Martin Murray with an 11th round TKO. Murray started the fight fairly brightly. He had his moments early on. He was doing an okay job of moving, punching, and then when Golovkin wanted to retaliate, Murray would step in and clinch him. So he was doing a fairly good job at that, although the clinching was becoming excessive. And I noticed after a couple rounds, he stopped that clinching. I'm not sure if the referee had warned him or whatever the case was, but he stopped doing the clinching, and Golovkin, after a couple rounds, was able to start pinning him on the ropes and letting go with shots. And it was a typical Golovkin fight, really, because we've seen a couple guys start fairly brightly against Golovkin. But once Golovkin gets into his rhythm, starts walking you down and methodically hitting you to the body, hitting you with uppercuts, just keeping you under constant pressure, it only ever ends one way, seemingly. There's no one that's been able to hit Golovkin with anything that's been able to discourage him from coming forward. There's no one that's been physically strong enough to be able to manhandle Golovkin and push him back. If an Andre Ward was to fight Golovkin, for example, that's what you would look for Andre Ward to be able to do. That's what he would have to try and do, because Ward himself is not a big puncher, so he would have to try and use his physical strength to push Golovkin back. And Ward is tremendously physically strong. Let's not get that confused. He was able to push back Carl Froch, who's very strong. He was able to push back, who else was it now? Many fighters, Mikhail Kessler and, several fighters. He's been able to manhandle them on the inside and push them back. Sakio Bika, that was the guy I was thinking of. He was able to even push Sakio Bika back, and Bika is terrifically strong. So if he was to fight Golovkin, he would have to employ that type of tactic, get Golovkin on the back foot. And Golovkin, most of us assume, I certainly assume, can't fight on the back foot. So if you manage to push him back, maybe you can take his power away. That's what I would be going for. But unless you have that type of skill, and that's not to say that Andre Ward doing that will necessarily work. We'll wait and see if that works. But if you don't have the ability to be able to do that, then you're going to have the power to keep this guy off, because he is just relentless. He's going to stay on you no matter what. And Murray did land shots. Golovkin can be caught, but obviously Murray's not a big puncher, and there was nothing that was going to discourage Golovkin from coming at him. Golovkin is one of those guys who doesn't have much hand speed. Murray had much quicker hands than Golovkin. There's no doubt about that. And Murray is not a particularly fast middleweight, but he definitely had quicker hands than Golovkin. Golovkin is pretty slow-handed, but very heavy-handed. He's similar to someone like Marcos Maidana in the sense that his punches are slow and deliberate, but there's a hell of a lot of weight behind them. And he's definitely, obviously, got better technique than Marcos Maidana, and I'm not comparing him overall as a fighter. I'm just talking about his punching power. When he throws shots, they're much more neat and compact than most of Maidana's shots. He does throw the unorthodox shots now and again, like that left hook he likes to throw, which is thrown for a particular purpose, to try and get over someone's guard. But my main point is he doesn't look explosive when he throws shots, but the power is in the effect that it has on the opponents. As you can see, those shots obviously have a tremendous amount of weight behind them. And anyway, as the fight went along, I think it was in, was it the third or fourth round or fifth round, Murray went down from a couple of body shots. It looked like it was the end there. The fight continued though. Murray's corner were very brave. Murray's corner were probably even braver than him. It seemed obvious that Murray couldn't win the fight. He couldn't hurt Golovkin. He couldn't do anything to keep him off. He wasn't slick enough to outbox him. And it was only a matter of time before the inevitable happened. And he was either going to take a terrible beating for the full 12, or he was eventually going to be stopped. His corner didn't throw in the towel. Some people are going to question that. Maybe he took more of a beating than he needed to. But we don't know. Maybe Murray, with the fighter's pride and all that, maybe he wanted to be the first guy to take Golovkin 12 rounds. But whatever the case may be, he took a horrendous beating, and he was down from a headshot. I believe it was in the 10th, near the end of the 10th round. He got up from that. He came out for the 11th, and the first serious assault that Golovkin launched on Martin Murray, the referee stepped in and stopped it, and rightfully so. So Golovkin marches on. Murray wasn't able to extend him the distance, even though he's taken him 11 rounds, further than anyone's taken him for a long time. Very, very tough guy. And if you look at the fact that Martin Murray really beat Sergio Martinez, even though it was a faded Martinez, and many people felt like he won over in Germany as well, then you've really got to rate Golovkin's performance pretty damn highly. Is there anyone in the middleweight division that can beat this guy? Right now, it seems not. It seems like he's going to have to step up to 168 or maybe even 175 to find himself a challenge. He's going to have to fight someone, or someone's going to have to fight him that can actually put some hurt on him, that can seriously punch. If you had, a big puncher in there, Adonis Stevenson a few fights back, because I think Stevenson's slipping now, that might be a guy that has the power to keep him off. Or a Kovalev, although with Kovalev, him and Golovkin have got history in the gym and stuff like that, so I'm not sure if Kovalev would have the confidence to really fight Golovkin and fight him the way that he needs to fight him to be able to beat him. But someone that is a big puncher, that has no respect for him, that is going to let his hands go, that's the kind of guy that you're going to need to be to have any chance of beating Golovkin. And even then, it's not a guarantee, but it just gives you a chance. At least you have something to discourage him with. So in the end, it was a good performance from Golovkin. He did his thing. Hats off to Murray, who was brave, but just not good enough. Is anyone good enough? That's the question. Who would you like to see Golovkin fight next? Drop your comments in the comment section below. It's your boy Hatman. I'm out.